welcome to the whimsical podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty sexual, isn't it?
Yes, it is pretty sexual. It's pretty whimsical at the same time.
Yeah. So, whilst I was working away all week, I gave you a task, didn't I? What was that task?
I feel like, why don't you call it Carl Pilkington in Idiot Abroad?
You feel like
When Stephen Merchant and Ricky Gervais are like, oh, you know, we've been preparing something for you, Carl, haven't we? And it's like, oh, yeah.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, you've recently shaved your head, haven't you? So you sort of are like Carl Pilkington. I mean,
Yeah.
I was Carl Pilkington first, and I think you've surpassed me.
Yeah, I think I've just sort of taken it to the next level.
For example, I gave you some topics, not topics to talk about. I told you to find some topics that you wanted to explain to me, because I'm not the brightest. And one of your topics, I believe, as you were telling me earlier, was do dwarves have knees?
Right. For a bit of context, this is a very, very prehistoric running, long contended point that myself and Mr. Paul have had.
Mm-hmm.
So, this debate has been spread far and wide. I've recently been to a Judas Priest concert where I happened upon a dwarf of whom I may have been able to approach and potentially have questioned. However, I was in Weatherspoons and particularly drunk, and the dwarf looked quite mean, so I didn't dare go and ask him.
They are quite skittish.
Not even skittish, bro. The fella, I was about to say little fella, but the fella had a
He's a fella.
yeah, he had a mohawk. Yeah.
That's pretty tight for a dwarf. I mean a fella. A fella. It's pretty tight for a fella.
Oh no. But yeah, this little dwarf, yeah, he had a mohawk which was dyed black. He had glasses on, so the glasses weren't, you know, the little ear parts, they weren't going to interrupt the mohawk, but the combo of the mohawk, the glasses, the fact that he had on like a leather vest, you know, sleeveless leather vest. He didn't have a shirt on underneath, and he had like tailor-made jeans or some shit, where he'd taken some jeans and either had them cut down so they could fit him, or they were a bit too baggy for him or something. I don't know.
No, he must have just bought child's jeans, or he stole jeans off a child.
Yeah. But he was sat down at first drinking his pint, but then he stood up on the chair to just somewhat be closer to eye level with this other dude, and the two of them were there like staring each other out, going, oh, hi, like that.
Okay, so where do the knees come into it?
I was on the verge of going up and asking him about his knees. However, I decided to sit there and just sort of watch, you know, this terror go about his business, hoping at some point he was going to have to pop a squat and try and like sit down or something.
Yeah.
He didn't. His method of sitting down was literally pushing both his legs forward and just slamming down on his ass on this chair.
I like him. I think me and him could be good friends.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the mohawk or his features or whatever, but he did sort of look like Rob Halford, the singer from Judas Priest. So the fact that I saw little Rob and then later on Big Rob, it sort of made my night.
Maybe that's why he went.
Yeah, the lookalike agency got in touch.
Yeah, there is that, yeah. But maybe he also went because he's like, I look like the guy. Maybe they'll call me up on stage.
Call it Pocket Priest instead of Judas Priest.
Oh, that's a good idea. If there's any people with dwarfism out there that happen to be listening to this podcast, please.
Oh, it'd be fantastic.
A tribute band to Judas Priest called Little Priest. Is that Little Priest? Pocket Priest.
Yeah, you can't say little, man.
Can't say Little Priest. Yeah, because he sounds like one of those weird ones.
Yeah. Anyway, there is also a tribute band for Kiss, who are all dwarves.
It's called Kids.
All of them. No, they're called Smooch, bro. As in, like, a little kiss, they call them Smooch.
Oh, that's very smart, actually, yeah.
The band don't actually play. They'll sing, but they'll sing to a backing track.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can actually find it.
I mean, yeah, okay.
But anyway, so this long-standing like discussion myself and Mr. Paul have had is, do dwarves have knees?
No.
Now, there are different categories of dwarf. So,
What?
yeah, so there's different forms of, like, essentially what causes, like, people to... I don't know how to
Be
word it
small.
without sounding crazy. Yeah.
It's not offensive.
So some people actually have, like...
so small. Just unplug my headset, fuck's sake. I do this every time. I pinch it between my fat little cheeks and pull. Yeah, carry on.
I can't handle his little cheeks, man.
Whose little cheeks? Mine or the dwarfs?
Yours, bro.
Ah, sweet, alright. Anyway, what were you saying? Because I pulled the mic out with my fucking cheeks.
But yeah, the most common form of like dwarfism is like a genetic disorder which is called achondroplasia, something like achydontoplasmia.
Yeah?
Yeah, which basically just means their limbs are like diminutive, and like the growth hormone there's like a deficiency within it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it can be treated at the same time. But like I said, there are different like classes of dwarves. So
does the different class of dwarf dictate which one has knees?
I still think they do.
It's up in the air, really, isn't it?
So Paul's in the camp for what was your original point?
Look, I love dwarves. Okay, they walk like cowboys. You wouldn't need to walk like a cowboy if you had knees.
Yeah, but they do have knees though.
All right, if you say so.
I swear, I was originally the one who said that they didn't have proper knees. They actually have knees, but they can't bend them in the same sort of way. It's because of the growth, this disorder for the growth, which hormonally affects the way that they grow, and the way that the body can function, and the way that it grows properly, like proportionally.
Ah, all right.
If there are any dwarves in the audience,
Please.
I'm not going to complain, but it would be cool if you did send us some proof so we could actually confirm this.
Your knees in the bath.
With bubbles, preferably.
Yeah. Maybe it depends.
But this point has like branched my life because it's now become a talking point. When I get to know someone, I'll randomly just turn around and go, "Oh yeah, what do you reckon to dwarves? Do you think dwarves have knees? Yeah or no?" And most people just go, "I don't really know." And then the other half of people just go, "Why the fuck are you asking me that?"
It's such an important question that needs to be asked. That's how you can tell that who stands in your lane,
Nah, they are about. You see them, but it's just like one of those just things. It's just one of those things that isn't spoken about, and it's just constantly interesting.
They are about.
They're out and about. They're not going to be down in mines all the time, man. Snow White's not like some sort of international tyrant. She's not running a ring.
That's Walt Disney, bro. They got... those poor dwarves.
I feel bad for dwarves recently because who was it? Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage in Hollywood was complaining about little people. He called them little people. He complained about little people getting typecasted into certain roles. So he was on about Snow White and the dwarves, and he said how it was a wrong thing to have the dwarves playing the dwarves. He robbed people of their jobs by coming out with all this shit. Tyrion Lannister, he'd landed the role as Tyrion Lannister. He had several series behind him. And he was already a recognised actor. He basically pulled the carpet from underneath the the dwarf community who were in like acting and producing and stuff.
But you can't have a dwarf playing a giant, though, can you?
Well, you could CG him and upscale him.
No, it looked like Tommy Kiddles.
Yeah, you can. It was in Marvel, funnily enough. It was Peter Dinklage playing the giant dwarf.
What?
Yeah, in Infinity War. It's either Infinity War or Endgame because they reforged Thor's hammer.
Okay, let me Google this.
Yeah, it's in the middle of a dying star. He's got like a star forge, and Peter Dinklage is running around like a fucking little madman, going, "No, you're not forging it right." And he doesn't actually do anything other than just bitch on at Chris Hemsworth. On a side note, I do love Game of Thrones. I love his characterization of Tyrion Lannister. But Peter
Oh.
Dinklage, as a person, is a bit of a dickhead.
And for the record, I do actually believe dwarves have knees. Just like darting people to see how they react. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, he's a big fella in this, isn't he?
Yeah, it sort of works because it's on that similar sort of principle of, people being upscaled and stuff.
He looks thick as fuck, though, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, he looks like an absolute unit.
Got a dumpy on him on that. Anyway, what was the next topic?
No, I'm still not done with the dwarf thing though.
Okay, carry on.
You asked. I've been looking into this sort of stuff. One of my favourite artists of all time is Ozzy Osbourne. Back in the day,
Yeah,
when he split.
Just in case people didn't know, sorry to interrupt. Ozzy Osbourne actually does suffer from dwarfism. He does.
Does he?
Yeah.
Was a legit thing.
Yeah, that's why he always hates the dogs in the house.
Oh, God's sake.
they're about. That's the thing, they're just really far away when they're filming them. Anyway.
Oh, God, they just place the dogs in the foreground.
Yeah, anyway, carry on about Ozzy Osbourne.
But yeah, Ozzy, he was kicked out of Black Sabbath. Yeah, he'll say that, he left, but he wasn't. He was fired. Went on to do his own solo act. Within the solo act, he was like, oh, we've got Satanic Panic. I'm trying to up the stage show. You've got, like, Kiss doing a stage show. You've got Alice Cooper. You've got all this shock rock stuff going on. Ozzy being Ozzy, the Madman, they constructed, like, a huge medieval set for the Diary of a Madman tour. So you had, like, stairs, you had, like cutaways and pillars, and you had, like, Randy Rhoads, and then later on Brad Gillis running down the stairs playing the guitar. You had Rudy Sarzo on the left, you had Tommy Aldrich in the right at the top of the stairs, and, like, a big drum setup. Don Airy was on the organs as well in one of the windows, in the background, just tootling away in the background like the Phantom of the Opera.
Uh-huh.
But Ozzy was like, oh, this is all cool. I'll get raw meat, and I'll have raw meat on the stage, and I'll chuck it out the audience, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Was that the name of the dwarf?
No, he brought on a dwarf because he was like, what would be funny and really interesting? We'll get a dwarf. we'll get a dwarf, put him in a cape and put him in a hood, and I'll pick him up and run around with him and stuff.
He basically beat Jackass to it.
Yeah, he used to beat the shit out of this dwarf on stage.
No,
seriously, he used to rag him about.
Wait, how bad did he throw him around?
Oh, he'd pick him up and he chucked him into the audience on some nights.
Yeah, but surely they'd catch him. They wouldn't be dodging him.
Yeah, but still, imagine just running around and then just being picked up by Ozzy Osbourne, coked off his mind, screaming at you, going, yeah, and chucking you out.
Ozzy Osbourne,
but yeah,
throwing. There's no footage that I can find of him like throwing a dwarf. It's him throwing knives.
Yeah, you won't find videos of the dwarf and stuff because Sharon, for good reason, just refuses to release the footage. So all official filmed footage of like concerts and stuff, like Randy Rhoads footage and everything, she won't release.
So how do we know?
Eyewitness accounts have talked about it. They've talked about Ozzy running around with his dwarf on stage.
Yeah, there's also that guy that said that Ozzy Osbourne wouldn't get up on stage unless he had a jar full of brown M&Ms, so he had to beat a guy to death with a shoe.
That was a made-up story. The brown M&Ms one was from Eddie Van Halen.
So I was just quoting Wayne's World.
It's just a little made-up ditty.
Shoes. Anyway.
But yeah, the Black Sabbath, Ozzy's previous band, had taken on the singer Ronnie James Dio, and Ronnie James Dio was about 5'6", 5'7". He used to wear platform shoes, and if someone made a joke about his height, he would hit him. He used to get really fucked off about it.
Yeah.
So what did Ozzy do? He called the dwarf Ronnie, and he used to run after him on stage, calling Ronnie and all this sort of stuff at him. And people in America complained about him having a dwarf as a part of the stage act because they basically said, it's inappropriate, it's taking advantage and all this sort of stuff. So the record label forced Ozzy and his management team to sack the dwarf.
That's just offensive. Maybe he liked it.
Yeah, the dwarf basically said, you bunch of bastards, you've done me out of my job. I was being paid really well. I loved running around. I loved doing it on stage. And he said, yeah, it could be pretty hard at times, but he said he loved it.
Yeah. I'm gonna look further into this. Okay, carry on whilst I'm deep diving and ponder these minerals.
Find those minerals.
Yeah, I'm gonna find these minerals. Did Ozzy
on the inside of the record? I've literally got it right next to me. "Talk of the Devil" by Ozzy Osbourne. The record was, when was it released? It was released in 1982. So Black Sabbath released Live Evil, or rather, I should say, they were recording Live Evil. And Ozzy's management had got wind of this, and they decided, okay,
it's
we had
real.
we have a scrapped project with Randy Rhoads where we were going to film him and release it as a film. But since Randy had died, they were still under the obligation to make a live record for this video. So even though the video was cancelled, they still had to put out a live record. And instead of putting out a live record with new material to compete with Black Sabbath, Ozzy basically was like, well, Ozzy's management decided, Ozzy's just going to do all Black Sabbath songs. But on the inside of the live record, when you actually buy it as a vinyl copy, the inside gatefold is a huge picture of Ozzy with Ronnie the Dwarf. And it's just like Ozzy with wolf teeth at his gob and Ronnie at his feet.
Yeah, apparently John Edward Allen, who was hired by Ozzy as a personal dwarf, in 1981 to 1983, and renamed by Ozzy to Ronnie to mock Ronnie James Dio, also acted in movies such as Blade Runner.
Yeah.
He was hung on stage every night as part of the show. He died of an overdose at the age of 49.
Yeah, because he was depressed.
I believe it.
Yeah, they took him out of the job that he was enjoying, and they basically wrapped him up in controversy. And the press tried to shame him for being a part of the stage show.
Why did I think that you were going to say they wrapped him up in cling film?
Oh no!
I was like, why would they do that? He's dead.
It's not Frodo. It's not Frodo and Shelob's lair. They're not gonna tranquilize the bastard and wrap him up.
I bet you could give him a lot of tranquilizers. He'd take it.
Oh yeah.
He toured with Ozzy. Fuck me.
Yeah, but the dude was funny as hell. Ozzy wasn't at that period. He was just really drugged up and depressed. But still, the dwarf was funny.
Yeah, we need to ask Ozzy if they have knees.
I don't think Ozzy would remember.
Yeah, they levitate.
He just sang, "What the fuck's a dwarf?"
Anyway,
who the fuck is that? There you go. I've sent you the Kiss video as well.
Really? Okay.
And yeah, sorry, audience at home. They're not called Smooch. They're called Mini Kiss. If someone in the comments who called them Smooch, and I just remembered them as being called Smooch.
I'm gonna use a bit of Hollywood magic here. I'm going a bit of Hollywood magic. Keep them entertained, Harry. I'm trying to do something.
I'm also trying to think who else had a dwarf in their act. I think Blue Oyster Cult at one point had one.
Aha! Found it.
Can't remember.
Right, let's minimize that. Boink.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we got a mini kiss. Okay. Oh god.
Like I said, they just sort of mime it. Yeah, they're actually really cool, aren't they?
Yeah, I like the little squire.
It's Ullet, if I remember.
This guy is just
I think it's just more contemplating what's going on. To be fair, Ace Frehley wasn't happy later on in Kiss.
They're not even playing the guitar. Have you noticed that?
That's what I'm saying, the miming.
Ah, okay. Anyway, that was the movie magic. What are the topics you got? What did you come up with, eh? I feel like debating you. Because you know how we were saying that guy wasn't the same guy on the plane?
Oh no, and
Oh, no, wait, no. All right, okay, let me explain it. You know that video of the guy wearing what was it, Burger King crown?
Burger King crown, yeah.
On a plane, and he shouts the N word.
Slurs, yeah,
Anyway,
he shouts slurs.
Yeah, apparently, according to Harry, the guy came back on the same Delta flight and did it again like years later. But the only issue I have with it, okay, is in the second video, he's a hell of a lot younger. The video.
It's a thing because people online were saying, oh, you know, it was later on and stuff. But then other people were saying, oh, it's the same period, the same time and everything, but it's from further back and it's from later on in the event.
It wasn't further back though. That's the thing. It was right there.
No, I'm on about the cameraman being further back.
Yeah, and the guy, he was wearing different clothes.
Yeah, and to me, wouldn't he have, like, the person further back, wouldn't they catch the person in front of them recording him?
Yeah, that's true. Maybe here's a crazy theory. Maybe he's like the curious case of Benjamin Button. I think it's Benjamin Button, the guy that ages in reverse. He was born old, yeah, and died young. Maybe it's fueled by him saying that word. Maybe every time he says it, he just loses like a wrinkle. He turns into a fetus and just shrivels away.
He's going to do it until he's like gone beyond his own inception. He's just going to time travel.
He just reaches nirvana somehow.
Oh, wow.
And he sees Kurt. Poor Kurt.
No, not Kurt.
I miss him. God damn it.
I mean, I felt bad for him because he was just a cracked up little addict.
Yeah, but he was alright. He was a cool guy.
He was a bit pretentious at times.
That's just the drugs talking.
No, not even the drugs. It's just, it's within his nature. He's a bit of an outcast. So he basically just thought of himself being quite either overly high in his status or very low.
Yeah, he's probably like bipolar.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, he went from mania to something else. Sad.
Depression. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
I forgot what it's called, but someone made like an animated film about his youth and stuff. I know people online slandered it, saying, no, it's not biblically accurate. At certain points in Kurt's life, precisely at 44 seconds on May the 3rd, 1972, he did this.
He farted in the front row and I smelt it.
He shit himself under the bridge.
I saw him eat a cigarette. He ate it. The entire
Yeah, the bridge didn't look like that in real life. Yeah, I don't care, Nirvana fans. Shut up. Yeah. The animation was a cool concept. It's well done. The art style's really nice. I like how they've referenced some of the songs later on with like Polly and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And it kind of encapsulates like a dude in his old depressed phase, and it does sort of feel like that, and it does feel, yeah, very much like, oh, yeah, he was basically this sad, depressed, lonely little, outcast who was living somewhere that he didn't want to be in, and he was just stuck being there.
Yeah, anyway. Next topic, swing. Hit me with it. Hit me.
Hit me.
Hit me. Come on, do it.
Wait, why is it Batman saying it? Wasn't it Joker? I want you to hit me.
Hit me. Just carry on.
Hit me. Hit me the way I like it, Batman.
What was that thing that you were saying about
the temple at the center of the earth?
Yes.
I don't know. There's too many things I've mentioned to you about. I've mentioned the temple at the center of the earth. Merlin. I've talked about Mother God and Merlin. Well,
Mother God.
Yeah, Mother God. Joe Rogan actually sort of raised this to me because a documentary recently came out about it.
He went, Harry, Mother God, and you're like, yes, Joe Rogan? Yes? Whilst you were hugging his bicep, and you're like, you're quite old, but you're quite firm.
I like how fit you are for a 50-year-old man.
I saw that video of you doing a kick, and it was really nice. Anyway, Mother Earth, Joe Rogan told you.
Sent my blood pressure through the roof. Yeah, Mother Earth. So basically, like a documentary was made, like detailing Mother God, Mother God and like her cult in America. I don't know why they made it so late on because like the cult's done. The cultists had just like sort of like bumming about. They're like, oh, she died.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not even like upset or like traumatized or anything. It's just like they're
So,
waiting for the next cult to move on to.
Describe to me who Mother God is. You just went, Mother God, center, and they go, you didn't actually explain who Mother God was. Like, how'd she start?
No, I was gonna build round to it. I was gonna do a swing background. So
It just confuses me.
So there's a theory that God is not in fact a bloke, even though it sounds weird because it's like God's a man. How do you know he's a man? Says so in a book from a long time ago.
Yeah, written by men.
Yeah. Oh, okay, God's a man. Even though in like Celtic tradition and stuff, the concept of Earth has always been like a woman. So yeah, Christianity was trying to offset that. But this is where Mother God theory comes into play, because Mother God is essentially saying, well, not until later on, but at this point, when she first conceived the concept, she was like, yeah, God's a woman, people are linked to the earth, you're part of earth, you're living on this plane. However, as Mother God, I have access to higher thinking. And she basically said that she was more aware of what was going on in the greater cosmos.
Are you sure that Mother God just didn't have Ritalin?
She definitely did later on, but at this point, don't know.
Okay. So she has higher awareness because she's a woman.
No, she's the chosen woman, because there's this idea that there's like different people who are chosen. It's almost like prophets almost. And they're all people who've been sent down to do a message, like to spread a good message on the planet.
Oh, okay.
And these prophets can like range across like different people and different groups. So one of the primary people that she mentions being a prophet is Robin Williams, the comedian.
Really? The guy that hung himself?
Yeah, she says that he was there to spread joy and he was like one of the chosen.
So Mrs. Doubtfire is one of the chosen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll pull up the list because she had him on there. She had like all sorts of people. She said like Mother Teresa was like one of the people, even though that like her concept of Catholicism was fake and a lie.
What? So wait, was Mother God a real person?
Yeah.
What was her name?
I can't remember, dude.
Let me Google. I'll tab off Charles Manson and get back onto Mother God. Mother God.
What's she called? Mother God and Amy Carlson, that's it.
Oh, I remember this bitch. I mean, this lady. Yeah, she didn't she. Oh, she used to be so. She is actually very. She was a very attractive lady. Holy shit.
Yeah, she was she was stunning. She was a model back in the day, but I can't remember what sort of was like the zenith for her becoming a bit of a fucking lunatic, but still.
That was drugs. She didn't she like choose like a really young guy to like be her mate? I thought they were shagging on the side.
No, so she'd essentially set up the cult by this point. She was really invested in New Age philosophy and was really interested in the divine and stuff, and she was basically claiming that she was listening to like this greater cosmos and she was in communication with it. She set the group up and was basically having a commune of hippies living with her, and they'd sell stuff online, or they'd sell it on like coal lines and stuff. So they'd make like bath salts and like weird sniffing stuff and like reading material, literature, candles, all sorts of stuff, and they'd basically just raise money to live in this like a hippie commune, basically.
Yeah, that was apparently I thought it was in Colorado.
Yeah.
Creston.
And that's Moffat, Colorado.
It says body discovered Creston, Colorado.
Yeah, but they moved about. That was the thing.
Okay, well, I don't think the dead body moved about, Harry. It says on Wikipedia right here, the body was discovered in Creston, Colorado. So unless they had the body like a marionette.
They just puppeted it. I'm still here. I'm alive.
Mother God arrived.
But yeah, these hippies were basically becoming really popular, and their little like following like grew massively. When I say that it was like growing, they were literally living out of like a house with like a camper van and a garden, and they had all these people constantly trying to join them. And Mother God was a bit reluctant to do so, but at the same time she's like, yeah, I love having all these people interested, but we don't have like the facilities to do so. This fella, so what's he called?
I don't know.
Jason Castillo. He was released from prison. He was a felon,
Yeah.
and he was released back into the general public. He heard about this, and he went to move in with them, and he developed like a relationship with her,
Yeah.
with Mother God.
Wasn't he like really buff?
Oh yeah, the dude was jacked at one point. When he first turned up, she was basically like, "Yeah, this fella's stunning. I like him."
Yeah.
And she basically said that she could feel his like purity and his warmth and all this sort of stuff. And she's like, "Yeah, this person is like the perfect man." So she basically insisted on the guys calling him Father God.
Okay. Father God. Oh, so he got adopted into the family through her lawyer.
Not adopted, not even adopted, bro. He literally surpassed the family. He was like, I'm gonna go straight to the source.
Straight to the source, which happened to be Mother God's bed.
Yeah, Mother God's snatch, but
Straight to the source.
yeah, but yeah, they were banging, and the fellow was basically using the hippies in the commune to get free stuff. So to a point, he was essentially extorting them, and Mother God was becoming a bit depressed and stuff at this period because she was realizing that there were like divisions within the camp for the first time, like proper hardcore divisions within the commune.
Yeah.
And one of her like methods of like holding herself up was to drink alcohol, and she'd get really drunk and she'd say, "Oh, my drunk behavior is me channeling these prophets." So she'd get really drunk and be really abusive, and then she'd wake up the next morning and go, "Oh, sorry, Robin Williams was in a really bad mood."
Robin Williams, not Robbie Williams.
Well, Robin Williams was in like a really bad mood, or she'd say, "Oh, Elvis was in like a beating mood and like all that sort of stuff."
She's channeling Elvis.
Yeah.
Did she go for a underage girl as well?
Not even that. So basically, these people she was channeling, she essentially claimed to have been at some point, because the higher thought ideas of New Age philosophy is basically that you're reincarnated. So it's lending itself off of Hinduism.
Okay.
So by being like a a reincarnated form. So she was claiming to be a reincarnated form of Jesus. So that was basically why she was able to perform miracles. None of these miracles happened.
Oh no.
Her miracle to her was her basically getting drunk, being abusive, and going, "Oh, sorry, Elvis heard about the Beatles coming to America."
So, yeah, that is quite miraculous, though, isn't it? Like the fact that she was able to do that and people believed her.
Yeah, but then when the followers were trying to like yearn her off of alcohol and stuff, they were upping her intake of silver. So one of
silver.
Yeah, so one of the big ideas behind being able to channel and like her divinity and all this sort of stuff came from, what was it, silver?
Nitrate?
Something like that.
It's not like silver.
Colloidal silver. That's it.
Okay. So
she was basically drinking liquid silver alongside alcohol and not really eating. And she was drinking silver for quite a long time, and she was essentially becoming very, very ill off of it. But the other hippies had essentially convinced each other, they were like, "Oh no, she needs to drink it. She needs to drink it to maintain her power."
She convinced the hippies, or that guy did?
No, the Father God didn't care.
So that all the hippies were sort of gaslighting themselves into just feeding her silver.
Yeah.
So they did a Monty Python.
Yeah.
She is the Messiah.
she was, but she started going blue, as in like her skin and everything started going blue, and her nails were like really brittle, and her teeth were like really, like brittle and stuff like that. So she was becoming like really, really sick with it, and the hippies were like, no, it's working. She's going to achieve a higher thought.
She's ascending. She's becoming better than she once was.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But then she essentially died of organ failure.
Well, yeah. The fact that she was turning blue is a big fucking giveaway.
Yeah. And the reason for her gradual decline in health and for the organ failure was essentially blamed on the world not believing.
Yeah. It's a typical thing, like, I was right, you were wrong, all that crap.
No, even it's literally just like, yeah, you know, the world didn't believe her enough, so that's why she died.
Huh. That's
And
fucking crazy.
the cult members were so delusional, they were basically just like, she's moved on. And the HBO team were like, oh, what, you know, aren't you upset? Aren't you freaked out that you're a part of the cult? And they're all like, pretty much dead set, like, oh no, you know, it's not a cult, it's a real thing. They seriously considered that she had essentially achieved another reincarnation, and they're all waiting for it to be reincarnated.
Oh. What if one of us did it?
Yeah, you could be the reincarnation of her.
Yeah, I could. I could be like, I am my brother god. I am bro god.
Brother God.
Which you can call me couch. I've been making them fart in each other's faces and be like, it's ascension.
Bring me Pop-Tarts.
Bring me whimsy. Yeah.
Yeah, yo, bring me my minerals.
Bring me my minerals. I want to ponder the minerals.
But it's basically on par with Onshiriku and Matahara there.
Yeah.
Is he called Matahara? I forgot what he's called. Onshiriku.
Oh, I remember something. I've got a myth for you. This is a little myth. Did you ever like watch Mythbusters as a kid?
I've seen bits of it, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember the one where there was a forest fire, and the firefighters were fighting the forest fire, and once they put it out, they found a guy in a tree wearing a full scuba diving outfit with a scuba tank, just burnt to death at the top of a tree.
Hey?
Yeah, apparently, get this. This is it's quite funny. Imagine like, because you know that you have those helicopters that go down and scoop water out of the ocean or like a lake or whatever, and then they dump that water over the forest fire to try to douse the flames. Apparently, there was a guy scuba diving off the coast somewhere in the US. Of course, it always happens in the US because everything fun happens in the US.
In the USA.
Yeah, exactly. So this helicopter goes down to scoop the water, and there's a scuba diver there, and it scoops him up, and apparently it flies over the forest fire and dumps him over a raging inferno.
Jesus.
It fucking kills him. Imagine being that guy. You're like, all right, honey, I'm off out scuba diving. I'm gonna go look at the fish and shit.
Watch out for helicopters.
Yeah, she's like, okay, I'll see you at dinner. And then it's like on the news, it flicks over and there's fucking what his name is, that something Tucker guy from Fox News. He's like,
Chris Tucker.
Yeah, I know he said Kyle Tucker.
Kyle.
Yeah. Anyway, it's like there's a forest fire over this area of the US, and then she's like, my husband's really late for dinner. Just imagine the look. Just imagine the Puritan look.
I looked up Chinese Jesus.
Chinese Jesus? What? China has a Jesus?
So yeah, this fella was a Hong Zhujiang, I think it is. Hong Shushang? Yeah.
Hong Shushang? What? Yeah, hang on.
Hong Shushang, yeah.
Send me a
so,
I'll Google it. I'm just going to type in how I hear it. Hong Shushang.
But it's Chinese, so it'd essentially be X U Q U A N.
Zhao Hongshu?
Xiao Hongshu. No, he's also called Ren Kun.
I'm not even going to type that. Chinese Jesus, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, Ren Kun.
Hong Shu Quan.
Yeah.
Okay, this is... Okay.
So yeah, this fella basically was around in China when it was like really unstable. So in a period just before like the Boxer Rebellion, you had different factions within China. China used to be like it was basically like several kingdoms, but there weren't kingdoms because they weren't Christian. However, this fella was a bit of a nutter. He was a Chinese Christian who basically believed himself to be the brother of Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
He basically said that I'm an aspect of God.
I believe it.
Jesus is my brother. I'm here in China. I'm going to set everything right. So he's essentially referred to as being like the heavenly one. Jesus, my brother. Mary, my mother. Conceived in Galilee, born in Bethlehem.
Okay, so he basically just uses him as I'm Jesus' brother to like legitimize his like
Rode on that ass down to Jerusalem.
Yeah, he uses him being Jesus' brother as like a way to solidify his kingdom status.
Yeah, but Chinese Christians actually legit believe this stuff still to this present day. They still believe that there's two Jesuses, two Christs.
In Japan, apparently, after Jesus rose from the grave, he walked to Japan.
Yeah.
And then he apparently died in Japan.
Wait, is this before or after he went to Ohio to the Garden of Eden?
I don't know. He might have just walked around for a bit. He was a hippie, so he just like sort of lingered and just moved.
Yeah, I think that is one of the ones that I do really want to talk about. Mormonism at some point.
I love the Mormons. They're fun.
The people are interesting, but sorry to the audience at home, but the way that the religion's founded.
Oh yeah,
is wild, and when I say wild, I mean it's wild.
Yeah. He's talking like trying to rein in a stallion while.
Oh yeah.
Trying to grip on that mane and hold on tight because he's scared to take you for a fucking ride.
The servants of Lucifer. They were black people. They were punished with their skin being changed colour. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, fucking John Smith.
Yeah, what the hell?
Or was it Joseph Smith? I think it was Joseph. Begins with
Joseph Smith, who's a con artist from upstate New York.
The guy that made John Smith's fucking ale.
John Smith Stadium. Oh, you can make a good pint. Can't make a religion, no. Should have stuck to brewing.
Yeah.
Wee, lad.
Wee, get that down, your son.
I haven't had John Smith since uni when me and you were watching those films.
I'm trying to read the tablets. I'm trying to read the tablets in the pub and it's just not working. I've got to put them in a hat and look at them.
Get me a duster, get me a cloth.
John, that's a dinner plate, mate.
Wait, what are you dusting there? No, you can't look at them. You're not allowed. They have to go back in the box now. Stupid man.
I'm seeing words and symbols. That's gravy, John. You haven't quite wiped your plate off.
No, it's God. He's speaking to me. You can't read this.
I'm reading the granules. Fucking hell. Anyway, Mormons.
It's like that scene. No, it's like that scene from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban when that kid looks in the coffee cup and he sees like the outline of a dog and he's like, the Grim. You're the Grim.
You have the Grim. Ooh.
Oh, the Grim.
The Grim.
Well, I've got tablets which outline God's laws.
Yeah, they weren't taken from the natives, I swear. I'm only in charge of the treasury.
Where do you find them, Joseph? Oh, undisclosed place. Which I conveniently knew where to find.
They were under some freshly turned over soil.
Yeah, it's basically just Assassin's Creed 3 when you're playing as Desmond, when you're rocking around that little cave at the start. That's just basically Joseph Smith. Rummaging about.
Great people, though.
Oh man, you were undercover, plotting against the Templars. Oh no, I was arrested in upstate New York on 3 accounts of embezzlement and fraud, yeah.
Anything else?
But yeah, he basically said that these tablets were found and the Garden of Eden was in Ohio. It was either Idaho or Ohio. I can't remember. Idaho, I think.
Oh, wait. It's bound to be in Idaho.
Yeah, and he basically said, yeah, this was God's garden. This is the holiest site on earth. This then feeds into the temple of the center of the earth at the same time.
What?
The two are a bit wacky.
The Mormons made the temple at the center of the earth?
No, it's just a randomer. That's something I'm going to talk about in a different podcast. I can't talk about the two together.
Oh, you got a deep dive of the temple.
Oh yeah, the temple, it gets a bit funny. But yeah, he said that the Garden of Eden was in Idaho. And he basically said that, yeah, God's chosen people, the Israelites, set sail from, Palestine, Israel, whatever you want to call it, downtown Jerusalem. Set sail from downtown Jerusalem, they went along the sea, and then rocks up in America, and America was the promised land.
So it's like, was it Marco Polo? Not Marco Polo, the other guy.
Columbus.
Yeah, the Spanish guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though he's Italian.
Was he? Oh, yeah, he worked for Spain. Fuck.
Columbus, yeah, it was called Columbo.
Columbo. Like Dumbo.
Columbo.
Columboy.
Columbus.
Columbus and his boat.
I'm sailing. Where? India.
Yeah.
I need my spices.
Spain wants spice.
Damn Arabs, they've shut off the road.
Shut off the road. Oh shit! Yeah, wasn't this around the time of when the Crusades have just ended, or like as intermission?
Reconquista had finished.
Okay.
Which is basically the longest running crusade.
Yeah, I do like Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista took back Spain.
Dave Bautista killed the Mayans.
Javier Bardem, Saint Lisan, Allah Gaib.
Oh god. Anyway, I forgot what we were talking about just then. Jesus.
Mormons. because one of Kanye West's theories is that black Israelites, black Israelites came from downtown Jerusalem.
Downtown Jerusalem.
And moved into America.
Where's Uptown Jerusalem?
I don't know. It's basically because I don't want to describe the country in which Jerusalem is located in because it's a point of controversy.
Yeah, Jerusalem's actually in Bournemouth.
Jerusalem's by me. When I go running, there's a road called Jerusalem Road, and I'll literally send it to people. I'm like, hey, I'm in Jerusalem, Lamau, and it's like, no, you're not. I'll just send them a photo of me so next to Jerusalem Road sign. I'm like, here.
Fuck's sake. You'll always look when you go around the UK and it says like this town is a sister town of this random place in Germany.
Yeah, or some like shithole in France.
Yeah, it's like, oh, why? Why'd you have to have a sister town? Why?
Sister twinned with Grande-les-Mers. In Provence.
In Provence.
Yeah. Yeah, Grande-les-Mers means like big fat ass in French or something like that.
Does it?
Le Grand Derrière, there we go.
I'm gonna start using that in the future.
Yeah. Because mad is like arse.
Yeah, mad is like shit and ass.
Yeah.
Shitty ass. That's what I say.
Shitting and pissing.
I'm shitting and pissing and coming.
Can we just have a brief moment of silence for Gilbert Gottfried?
Yeah. That's a moment of silence for Gilbert Gottfried. Okay, that's long enough.
Yeah, he'll be remembered.
He will be remembered. I think Old One solidified his monument.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the send off that he wanted. If God knows that is what Gilbert Gottfried wanted.
He's with Jesus.
Yeah, here he is. Yeah.
Kanye West though is a wild card. I wouldn't mind doing a deep dive on him because how the hell did he go from what was it? He was from Chicago, little one-parent household, to then just becoming one of the biggest conspiracy theorists of American pop culture.
I don't know. He's a very interesting man though. He's almost. I think the only person under Kanye is DJ Khaled.
Oh no, DJ Khaled's blessed at the same time.
Yeah.
Kanye's a bit cursed. Kanye's cursed now. There's something not right about him.
Yeah, he's bipolar.
No, not bipolar, as in visually. He's changed his teeth and stuff, but his face isn't the same shape anymore.
I thought you were going to say he's just his entire body is transforming. Like he's ascending into a higher form.
He's becoming Megatron. Damn Autobots.
He's becoming a kaiju. Oh no.
No.
Godzilla music starts playing. He's just transforming.
He will want to though because kaiju's got the word Jew in it.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, let's steer away from Kanye West.
Yeah, precisely. That's why Kanye's like, he's interesting to look into, but at the same time, I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about him.
Alright, I'm trying to think of another thing. I was just thinking about Athenian philosophy teachers and how they
Like the Booty Warrior, but for a specific group.
yeah, how they used to like the students a bit too much. Yeah, I was thinking, I thought it'd be quite funny. Just like imagine that you're an Athenian kid who's lucky enough to go to be tutored by, say, Aristotle. And
Yeah, or Plato or someone like that.
I say lucky enough loosely. Okay. So,
Loosely, yeah, you will be loose.
exactly. So just imagine you as a kid, you're like, I know what they're gonna do to me, whatever. I know what this guy's gonna try to get up to, whatever. And your mum's just like, testicles. Testicles.
Are you sure you want to go?
So come down for dinner. You gonna for your breakfast. You're gonna go see Aristotle. So I've got. He's a new teacher in the ecclesia, and he's really looking forward to seeing you. It's just like, oh no. Just imagine how fucked that would be. So,
you just see the other like previous students walking down the road rubbing their asses.
yeah, I'm just imagining like Aristotle stood at because they used to wear togas, didn't they?
Yeah.
He stood at the front of the lecturing hall, which is just a semicircle of fucking stairs, and he's just got like his toga up, like you know how like Lucy Liu has the split dress, so you can see a bit of her ass.
Yeah.
You know, like Kill Bill. It's Aristotle with that, and he's got like a bit of a charcoal pencil in his mouth, just biting it, and he's just looking at the students and going, "Eeny, meeny, miny."
Oh no.
That is fucked. That is fucked. It was their culture. You can't have a go at other people's cultures.
No.
Especially now. So I think people should forgive the Greeks.
He's just standing there stroking the inside of his thigh going, yeah, I'm forgiving you, Parable.
Parable. Fucking a new parable. A pair of balls. Oh no.
The tightest are the fastest.
Jesus. Alright, we're steering away from that one. That was a dark.
They used to love it though. That was the thing. It was the same thing in Sparta. They loved it. They used to they loved it, bro. They used to get married. Yeah, they used to get married. They used to get married to women. They'd be like, yeah, I'm married. I'll have a kid and whatever. But then they go back. They'd then start going back later on in life. And they used to live in these little communes. Yeah, they used to live in these little communes of all these fellas. And the wives were like, oh, what are we going to do? All our men have gone. And the wives were like, oh, I'm not sure. Here's a eunuch.
Yeah, God. Fuck's sake.
So yeah, you basically just had like a group of really horny old men all living together with an old teacher.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and these students would stay on. They would stay on for life, bro. If you became like a lecturer and stuff, you'd be one for life. Like Plato. Plato means broad in Greek.
Oh.
It wasn't his actual name. It was essentially his name given to him. He used to be a professional wrestler.
Fuck me.
Like a fighter.
Those kids didn't stand a fucking chance.
No, they didn't. He was a professional fighter, and when Socrates used to debate him later on in life, because he'd given up fighting, he'd won the Olympics, he'd given up fighting, and he'd gone into like philosophy and wider thinking. When Socrates would debate him, Plato would basically stand there because the dude was still jacked. He would stand there and just flex. He'd stand there and flex his arms and his muscles and stuff. And Socrates was like, this isn't an argument. And Plato was like, nah, I don't need one. You just have to bask in my magnificence.
Can we talk about Purple Aki?
We'd have to be very diplomatic about the way we spoke about him.
Just a big jack fella.
Yeah, English folklore is an interesting subject. So English folklore, you have folklore that predates the Roman times. Roman times you have like prehistoric folklore, but then you have modern day folklore.
Yeah, but it's not.
So
it's not.
Instead of whimsical Pan going around nailing broads in the woods, you now have Purple Aki going around squeezing lads' muscles on the council estate.
Yeah. So, put it this way. Purple Aki is a big fucking jacked guy, okay? And he had a penchant for young teenage lads who used to bodybuild and just work out, and he used to follow people around the gym and wherever else he just saw them.
No, originally it started at the gym
Yeah,
until it then branched out further, yeah.
Yeah, he's not a fucking franchise, all right? Anyway.
So he moved in down the road in that new unit.
Yeah. Anyway, he used to go around, like, going to these young lads. He went, oh, you got some quite big muscles on you, haven't you? I was like, oh, yeah, thanks, mate. I work out. And he goes, right, if I have a little squeeze.
Bear in mind, this is Merseyside. This is before proper internet access. It was just like the days of, I don't even know when it was. It was the late 90s, early 2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, mobile phones weren't properly popular.
Yeah. And after he got a little squeeze of them muscles, he was like, tell you what, I bet you couldn't squat me. I weigh a lot. He goes, and they're like, I bet I could squat you. He's like, I bet you couldn't. And then he climbed on the back and they squatted him. And then they felt something poking them in the back.
The other one he used to do was he'd get him to do a press up with him lying on the back of him.
Oh no! Yeah. Eventually, he got sent to court because
no, he became a boogeyman first.
Yeah,
he became a bit of an urban legend, a bit of an urban myth about this huge jacked fella going around trying to ask you if he could squeeze your thighs and stuff.
Yeah, and anyway, that led it to him going to court, and the judge was like, okay, you're gonna, I think, pay a fine or whatever, blah blah blah. He went, I've got a new rule for you. Stop asking to squeeze young guys' muscles and stay away from young guys without have muscles. Then he got sent to prison, apparently, didn't he, Harry?
Yeah, because in the same courthouse, he took a lad. This is before the case, bear in mind. He took a lad to the courthouse. So before he was sent to prison, he took a lad to the courthouse because he found a back room, and this lad was jacked, and he said to him, yeah, I bet you can't do a press up with me on your back. So he got down and did this press up, and he said that this, Purple Aki was breathing heavily down his back and in his ear, and he was basically chewing on a bit of his ear, just huffing at the idea of him doing this press up. And he said, yeah, this room only had one door, and Aki had backed him up, so he tried to get Aki's attention away from him, and then he bolted. He ran.
I would fucking run if Purple Aki came after me.
Yeah, his girlfriend was told about it, and she basically said to him, don't leave the house and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, he did leave the house, and Aki basically molested him.
Oh yeah, Purple Aki was a menace.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still alive or anything, but I know Aki did. Yeah, he definitely
there's videos
did.
of him on buses asking lads to flex and shit.
No, I'm on about the fella who Purple Aki groped.
That would probably. He probably is alive.
Yeah, alleged manslaughter. So the kid died from electrocution on the railway network because apparently he was running away from Purple Aki.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's it. I knew one of them had essentially died from it. And yeah, this is in 1986.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I thought it was late 90s.
Fuck yeah. Purple Aki's getting on a bit, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Oh, here you go. Here's this specific law. The muscle touch ban.
The muscle touch ban. Stop touching muscles, Aki.
Yeah, in July 2008, he was unsuccessful in trying to overturn the muscle touching ban at one point, behaving erratically just before appearing in court.
He tried to overturn the ban. Muscle touch ban, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Aki, stop touching muscles. I refuse.
He basically get them to do an inverted piggyback by ordering them to squat so he could lean over their backs with his face by their buttocks and his genitalia on their necks while squeezing their quad muscles.
What the fuck?
He was a menace. He had it down to an eye. He knew what he was after.
He did know what he was after.
But yeah, for the manslaughter, so I don't care. It says alleged. He basically chased this poor kid onto a train track. The girlfriend knew about it because she basically said, yeah, stay the fuck away from him. But yeah, Aki found him and basically chased him, and yeah, he died electrocuted and
I think
whatnot.
Aki had his scent.
He did. He basically had a stalker's manual. He used to know where these lads lived,
Oh,
and he'd
fuck.
stalk them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
he's like the guy from Jeepers Creepers.
yeah, but instead of killing them, he just wanted to molest them.
Which, if anything, that's a fate worse than death.
Yeah, because you have to live with the idea that this fella's basically come up after you and tried to give you a little squidge.
Yeah, fucking Purple Aki's outside the windows.
But yeah, he got done for manslaughter and was sent to prison. The people in prison knew about the case, so they all stayed away from him. He didn't have any friends in the prison.
Apart from the new guy.
So a new guy started in this prison, and these prisoners have basically said to him, "Yeah, stay away from that dude. He's like a bit of a funny, and he'll try and like grope you and stuff."
Yeah.
And the new dude was like, "Oh nah, that's just made up. That's a bit of a joke and all this sort of stuff." And in prison, they have chairs where they're essentially set into the table, so the tables and chairs are one unit to stop them from being thrown and stuff.
Yeah.
So Purple Aki said to this bloke, he said, "Oh, you're quite well built, you're quite athletic. I bet you couldn't fit through the hole in the back of that chair." And the fellow was like, "What do you mean?" And Aki said, "Yeah, I've seen you in the yard, I've seen you like running around and stuff." He said, "You're pretty fit. But, you're not, are you lean enough to get through that chair? I've done it."
Yeah, if you can, I'll give you a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, and the dude was like, "Yeah, I'll wager that. Okay, then." So, whilst he was trying to climb through this chair, he got stuck.
Yeah.
And Purple Aki, realising that he was essentially compromised in a very, I don't know, uncouth position, he then took advantage of this dude.
Hey, bummed him.
Yeah. However, Aki was a man of his word, so he did leave the cigarettes behind now. He just left them on the table.
Yeah, so that's mental. I'm just imagining the scene at Boondocks. Come here, Tom.
I like you and I need you.
I like you and I want you.
The Booty War is a real dude, though.
I know he is. I've seen the video of him. He's fucking nuts.
I watched a proper documentary about him.
Yeah, I watched it as well.
And it was essentially his method of asserting dominance in the prison because he knew that he was weak, so he was basically like, I'm going to prey on people.
Yeah, he's a warrior.
Yeah.
He really is.
So whilst he lost his interest in female butt, he gained interest in male butt.
Yeah, I think booty is a currency.
It is in prison. Have you seen Con Air with the little twink?
No. We need to watch Con Air.
Oh yeah, dude, Con Air is such a ride to watch. It's John Malkovich doing that really awkward accent, and like Nicolas Cage with the long hair, like, "No, I need to be cool," but he looks like a fucking Kid Rock. Mother God.
You know that bitch. Yeah. Anyway, what would your? We need to do some parting words.
The minerals have been pondered for tonight. The quartz is being exhausted.
Yeah, that's a good little parting advice. Let me think of my words. What I'm gonna say. Fuck.
I'm gonna go and salt the earth.
Yeah, like Carthage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scipio Africanus is the most overrated Roman leader of all time. Don't get me on a rant about Scipio.
Living off your dad's fucking successes. And then changing the tactics once, and it works. And it's like,
yeah,
genius.
Yes, I did it. I did it.
Fucking Dad got wounded in a skirmish near the Alps. Anyway, yeah, stay tight.
Stay moist, and most of all, keep those minerals pondered.
Yeah, keep your minerals safe. Minerals are important,
especially in these times.
Yeah, trying times. Very trying.
Yeah, the mineral market's dipping.